If you are watching this channel for the first time, please we advise you click on the share button, click on the red subscribe button, and on the notification button, so that when we have a new episode coming out, directly it will be shared to you. You will have the link and be notified of this edition because they keep on coming and it will interest you, it will move you to another level. Welcome viewers to another episode on the Daily Positive Living channel with Dr. Daniel Otto. Today we are going to talk about part 3 of the factors and conditions that affect our relationship, that affect our marriages, because we have been on this issue about 2-3 episodes before. This is the 3rd episode of factors and conditions that affect our relationship, and these things are very key, which we must deal with. We need to deal with these issues because we can have a healthy relationship. To maintain relationship, there has to be a heart-to-heart connection. There has to be a mental connection. So what happens within us is more important than what happens outside, which we have talked about. And what happens inside is what affects our connectivity. Do you know that an entire sea of water cannot sink a ship unless the water gets inside the ship? That is a very serious thing. Similarly, even the negativity of the world cannot get into you unless you allow it to affect you. We should not allow what is happening, the crashing of marriages, how marriages are crashing left, right, and center in every way. It should not get into us. Life is not lived by general consensus. Life should be lived by personal conviction. Once you are convinced and sit down, when two of you sit down and make a conviction, it stays. So we should not allow what is happening to get inside of us to spoil our connection, our relationship, and what is happening in the world today. So what are we talking about? We are talking about factors and conditions that affect our relationship at 3. One of those, in continuation, one of those that we need to talk about is about poor commitment. Poor commitment. Poor commitment. Once there is no commitment, relationships cannot stay. What we talk about commitment? The Bible says, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Every relationship must be worked out. Commitment is like consistency. Two people coming together to agree that this is what we need to do, and we are ready to be committed and devoted to it. This is very, very key. And once we are talking about commitment, it may not be commitment, may not be ratio 50-50. No, it must not be equal commitment. In commitment, there is complementation. People need to complement each other. When one of the partner is failing, another one comes in to complement what has been absent. That is what it is. So commitment can be 50-50. It can be 60-40. It can even be 90-10. Those ratios. So what we should not make it look like, oh, this partner, my partner should bring all this. He has to bring equal commitment. No. What we need to do is to complement each other. The Bible says 2 are better than 1. So when one is failing, another one comes in to complement. That is what we are talking about. To make up relationship, we need to be committed, and that commitment should be to complement each other. But there has to be agreement that for this relationship, it will not and it must not crash. It is not going to fail. That is what commitment is. And we are going, two people come together to be committed and make sure that in one way or the other, we'll complement each other and make relationship to stay. This will help us a great deal, because some people, they want to test relationship. Before they enter relationship, they had already made up. If this my partner fails in this area, I am going to leave the relationship. And that is why we're having a poor outcome in our relationship. So when we enter relationship, commitment must be ensured that we make sure this relationship or our marriages are not going to fail. This is very key. What next are we talking about? Poor communication is a factor that has caused a lot of our marriages to crash, a lot of our marriages to fail. What is communication? We have talked so much about communication. Everything about life is communication. The only way somebody will know that your life is that you are communicating. Once you are not speaking, nobody knows what is inside you until you begin to voice it out. So when you are quiet, if the house is quiet, you are not talking to each other, your spouse or your partner will not know what is happening within you. One of the characteristics of living things, Mr. Niger D, I'm going to come back on this because we have series of episodes. Mr. Niger D, number one is movement. Your mouth should move. The only thing that will know that somebody is living is when somebody's mouth is moving. Once you are speaking, you know that you are alive. So for your partner to know, for a healthy relationship, for a lively relationship, your mouth should be moving, your mouth should be talking. There should be communication in the house. If not, there is breakdown of relationship. So in communication, we should be careful of channel noise. We should be careful of interference. What do you mean by channel noise? Third parties and so on. People that comes in to make sure that our relationship dies. We should be careful about this. And in relationship, there is always a feedback response. So you need to get a feedback as you are talking. You need a feedback response from your partner. These things are very, very. This is a common story that people usually talk about in communication. Two couples, they had a misunderstanding one day that they were not talking to each other for a long time. So they now devise a way. What they do now is to communicate within themselves by messages. They write messages for themselves. If the husband wants to eat, he will write it on the piece of note. Please, I want to eat. And the wife and all that, and things begin to happen. And so they communicate within themselves. They are in the same house, but there is no communication. That is what they do. So one day, this man had an appointment and he needed to catch his flight very early in the morning. And he had a lot of overwork, busy schedule, and he didn't sleep on time till about 2 a.m. And he needed to catch a flight by 5:30. So he now wrote, wife, please wake me by 5:30 a.m. He put that thing on the table. And when it was 5:30 for this man to wake up, wife now wrote, husband or husband, wake up, it is time for you to wake up to come and to go and catch your flight. This man didn't wake up till 6:37. When he woke up, he was raging, he wanted to kill somebody. And why didn't you wake me up? Why didn't you wake me up? Wife said, look at, you gave me this message and look at your message. Showed him the message and the message was there, but they were not communicating. Look at the disaster in communication. If we don't communicate, things will not go right. What about lack of appreciation? It's a killer. Even God wants appreciation. In marriages, people are no longer appreciating each other. Appreciation is a sign of gratitude. The little things we do must be appreciated. If not, marriages does not survive well. And this is very, very key. When a little thing that is done should be appreciated in marriage. Lack of appreciation is a killer, is a killer, is a killer. Once your partner does the thing and it's not appreciated, the next time you will not do it again. And the marriages will now tend, or the relationship will now tend to begin to go down or begin to crash. So we should be very careful about appreciation. What about impurities, unforgiveness, bitterness in the heart? That one is a key issue that we need to talk about. Once there is bitterness in the heart, it can even make somebody to be sick. Bitterness can lead to rising of adrenaline inside our system. Before you know it, even the person can get hypertension because of bitterness, because of impurities. We know that current cannot flow when there is impurities, when there is death. Even that is current. So when we harbor so many things inside our heart, things cannot flow very well. And so this is why we need to, if heart is loaded, connection is hampered, connection is distorted. So what we talk about, we need to decide if we are going to live together. People say that two people that come together in relationship and in marriages, they are people that have come together who have decided to live, to forgive themselves in advance. So forgiveness is very, very key, and that is the only way relationship can survive. Let me give you this story, a story of two couples. A husband bought a gift for the wife for her birthday celebration. Look at what happened. The husband decided to buy a gift, 12 dozens of the same underwear for the husband, or 12 dozens of the same color. He bought it for the wife. Look at what happened. When he presented it, he was very happy when he presented this gift to the wife. Instead of the wife appreciating the husband, Don't guess what the wife said. He said, the husband, oh, you bought 12 dozens of the same underwear, the same color for me. What kind of thing is that? How can you do such a thing? If people see me now, they will think that I don't change my underwear. Hi, Kasala don't boss. Husband now say, hey, who will see my wife's pants? Who has the authority to go inside those areas, those federal capital, to see the pants of my wife? Then something is wrong. This thing that I'm talking about has to drag relationship. Husband said he must have a correct explanation. If not, this marriage cannot continue. The man has to seek for the family of the wife. They have to come and gather, have a family meeting for them to decide. From one family meeting to another, the husband refused to accept until the marriage ended in a divorce. What are we talking about? Relationship, if it is not properly managed, it cannot survive. And the outcome of it is wrong society, a society that is filled with vices, social vices, that is filled with all manner of atrocities. That is what we want to avoid. And what we do at home between the couples will affect our children. That's why we're talking about this. So my prescription is our relationship should be genuine. Our relationship should be solid. Our relationship will be full of love. Our relationship will be full of spices, so that when we spice our marriage with varieties, with a lot of adventures, and we begin to spice it up, we can have a long-standing relationship, long-standing effect, and connection will be maintained between each other. This is the only way we can survive in this society, and then we'll have a better outcome in our society. Please, I advise you, hook on to this channel, Dr. Daniel Otto YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Please share to others so they can benefit, because there's an inspiration to always gain on this channel. Please, I thank you for listening and spending your time on this channel. I know you will not remain the same, and you will not regret being on this channel. Thank you, and God bless you.